Dave's of Thunder is taped before a live studio audience.
Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. David and Dave, Dave, David and Dave.
Hi and hello, podcast. This is your old pal Dave. Dave Damashek here. David Feeney over there, sequestered in wherever his cave, his high-end cave is in the Los Angeles area. Welcome to episode whatever of the long-awaited return of Dave's of Thunder. David Feeney, first and foremost. How are you and yours?
I'm great. This is the first time that I've seen you in how many weeks? This is 15 weeks. This is 9 weeks. This is something before the Super Bowl. Certainly since 19 hit the country, the world, Dave.
You heard about all that. Yeah, right.
You look fantastic.
Has life changed for you at all?
Let's dispense it. You look fantastic. What happened?
Thanks.
19 is working on you. Whatever 19 is bringing to your house is working on you.
I appreciate it.
You lost the weight. Your hair is long, though. Your hair looks long.
Well, it's long on all of us unless you take the shears out. But how about you? Let's not bury the lead. You're wearing a tie. What gives? And drinking a martini.
A nice shirt and tie.
Why so?
I had a Zoom meeting earlier today for work. It's very hush-hush. I'm not going to speak to it right now with all due respect. But I figured, why change it? I also have a martini.
I saw that. Did you had your little girl put that together for you?
She did. She mixed it up. I have to pretend that I have to tickle her, and she starts mixing it up. It's great. I may have another one come in a few minutes. That's my business. What I see in your house, and by the way, the biggest room I've ever seen. I've never been invited to your house in the gated community. I know two things. I know there's a gate. I know Yasso Puig was your neighbor. Mm-hmm. And what I see behind you in your gigantic office, first of all, Lex Luthor had less books than you have in your office, but I see the Lolita poster that we got years and years.
I'm like, you know what's weird about that?
Did I frame that for you, the Lolita poster? Did I frame that for you? Didn't I frame it?
You did not.
Can you give me a rolled up poster and say, "Hey, Feeney, frame this"?
Yes, I did. That's my.
Am I making that? I pretty much. Okay, there you go.
Just hand it off. I don't need any of the details. Just see to it. And I need it yesterday. See. As you can see, yes, I live very much like Arizona Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury. If you watch the draft, you get that.
I did not watch the draft. What does that mean? He's got a nice house?
Oh, he lives like a supervillain. He lives like
well, he's a coach of an NFL team. Shouldn't he live that way?
I mean, this is over and above. This is crazy stuff. So how are the ladies under your roof? Everybody dealing well? Is anybody going crazy? Have you taken to the streets to protest your lack of freedom? This ain't America. I thought I saw the missus out there with a big sign.
None of that has happened. As I said to you.
She wasn't the one. I could swear because I saw a sign that said Barack Hussein Obama, and it counted up all the letters in every word, in every name in his full name, and it added up to 19. And then underneath at the bottom of it said, "Wake up, everybody." That wasn't Jennifer who did that.
Does she have a sign like that? I'm not going to say yes or no, but I've asked her not to protest during this difficult time for this country and for the world.
Don't be divisive. Yeah. Okay.
To be specific, it's been like for anybody, it's been plumb awful, and then it's been bliss, which is really hard to say. Like this is the longest that I've ever spent with my daughter ever.
Right. I know. In a way,
either I was working or Mama was at school, and that was it. I never saw her except on the weekends. And usually half of my weekends are spent on the phone with you talking you down.
Yeah, true.
Some sort of crying drag. I'm not going to get into that. But then it was like, so much of I never spend with her. And then this is like, I'm spending 24 hours a day with her. And it's a goddamn, it's bliss. It's amazing. It really is amazing. On the flip side of that, all of the horrible things that are happening is disgusting.
Yeah, but,
I know. That stuff I can't stand.
But I'm the empath here, not you. You don't give a good goddamn. You're living the high life, drinking your martini.
You're in a gated community. What the hell are you talking about? I tell you what is happening though on our street though. We're having happy hour at like 6 o'clock at night.
What?
Which is crazy. We have 3 neighbors on the other side and we have neighbors on each of us, and all of them come out on the front lawn, and we're 25, 30 feet apart, and everyone's getting loaded at 6 o'clock at night every night.
And then you shout across to the neighbors who you wouldn't otherwise even care to normally interact with.
I would never talk to them except for this thing. So that's another large ass that 19 has given us. How about you?
Yeah, it's like you say. I'm loath to say it in a public forum because it makes me sound insensitive or whatever. But yes, it's been grand with the little ones. 5 and 3 is about the ideal age, completely unaware of any of the grimmer stuff that's going on here. They're just happy to be at home and take the occasional walk or jump into the backyard and play a little bit. We play a lot of wiffle ball going on.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, no, we got Jean-Claude Van Damme and Oprah, come by. They're right down the street, as you know. Don't worry, everybody. Perfectly safe. We're in full control. We're abiding by all of the counsel provided by our president. So fear not on that.
By the way, sorry to interrupt, but I remember when you once said, like Kinsella in Field of Dreams, I'm going to build a wiffle ball infield in my backyard. I said that's a big mistake. It takes up too much property, and look, you ignored me, and now you're reaping the benefits.
I'm glad I'm my own man, but yeah,
that movie's overrated. By the way, that was on Encore the other day. Overrated movie, Field of Dreams.
You know what? I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Overrated.
Because you adore baseball, but yes, it's a little precious. It's just baseball, everybody. It's not.
Give me Bull Durham. Give me Bull Durham. That's the baseball movie of all time.
No, the best baseball movie of all time is of course The Natural. Unless you want to count
Mr. Baseball with Tom what's his name?
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
And then there's Rookie of the Year. And then, of course, there's the original Bad News Bears, which if you want to include Little League ball.
That's number two.
That's one of the great pictures that there is.
I remember when it came out. You and I have been friends for a long time. You told me Bernie Mac's Mr. 3000 when that came out. You said that's the gold standard.
Fine, yeah. I funny, but also hit you in the heart. You did it out of nowhere.
Why? Because he's resting?
I don't know. I've not seen Mr. 3000 in some time.
He took the nap, poor Bernie.
But yeah, we've been doing that, and we've had a couple. Well, speaking of sports, one thing that happened that I'm curious for your, if you think I've done wrong as a tremendous World Wrestling fan over the decades as you are, I had a little slip of the tongue the other day. I don't know what I was thinking. The Jean-Claude Van Damme 11 was talking about his newfound affection for wrestling. No. And somehow I said, like, he was worried about the injuries. And I said, well, thank goodness, they can do that because it's not, obviously it's fake. And he was floored. He was like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's fake? What do you mean it's fake? He had no idea. And immediately I felt like a heel. Because the little boy, 5-year-old boy, recently lost a tooth, and we handled Tooth Fairy coming and going with a plum, but not the same when it comes to wrestling. That's the one, the more entrenched ones like Santa and the Easter Bunny and so on, we've abided by and done a nice job of parenting there. But I let the cat out of the bag on wrestling, and I feel just awful about it. Do you want to scold me? Or is that good for him to learn? Is it good for him for that to have come out?
Yeah, of course, because once you're in on the joke, it's far better. I don't think WWF or WWE was any better or got more popular than when you were in on the joke. And who's to blame for that? Bret the Hitman Hart. After what is the Montreal screw job? Whatever the screw job was, Vince McMahon denied him the title when he went to the WCW. And then he punched down Vince McMahon. And then he went on national television and said it was all fake. Wait, I have approval of all scripts and blah, blah, blah. It blew the whole thing apart, and yet prospered. Made Vince McMahon the greatest heel of all time. I think that's what's going to open up for your boy. By the way, you're seeing the other kids. You're seeing as well, or no?
Yeah. Seeing the other kids, and we just passed.
Are they all? I'm so sorry. Are they all staying with you, or no? What's happening?
No. We're fully sequestered. We're fully sequestered. No one is seeing any other human beings. The only human beings that we're seeing are each other. It's been quite a thing. I mean, I'm sure you're fielding a lot of pitches right now about sequestration and Zoom calls as sitcoms.
And that, by the way, that stuff is ridiculous.
I know it's terrible, but
I mean, like that, it's going to be so like just like everyone was pitching Trump. Like, give me a break. It's all going to be passe. Who wants to be a part of that? I'm watching shows now on TV I never would watch because they do not address that stuff. Do I want to address that stuff in the fall?
Yeah, like what? What are you?
Are you out of your mind?
I've been taken in lately. I'm for about halfway through the first season of Succession, which I'd heard good things about.
Oh my God!
And had never watched, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Tremendous. Succession is tremendous.
Yes,
Tremendous.
I'm enjoying that. What's on your viewing list now?
I got 3 words for you. It's called Better Call Saul. That's the one.
Really, I didn't get into.
Why not?
I watched 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I was still riding the high of Breaking Bad, and I felt a little let down that this whole backstory was. I don't know what got into my head and my heart when I was watching it, but I didn't get into it the first go round. Perhaps I'll try it again.
Are you rewatching Facts of Life like you promised a couple weeks ago?
A couple weeks. No, I haven't caught up with the gang in quite some time.
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
What is your daily routine? When you get up, what time do you get up? What has changed other than not going to work, obviously, which you're not doing anymore? What is, and neither is anybody, what are you doing when you get up? You get up at the same time? Do you make your miles?
I find what's interesting is
you wake up for the lovemaking session, I bet. Still.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you got nothing but time.
It's so virile, even during the age of 19.
You know me. The thing is to, when it's done properly, it's a marathon lovemaking session. And now I have nothing but.
How does she deal with it? By the way, how are you and Beth doing? Because I don't want to tell tales out of school, but the last time there was a pandemic was H1N1. And let's just say the water on Lake Cindy was very choppy back then. I think it's fine.
Can I retroactively blame everything on the pig flu or whatever it was called?
I think you absolutely should.
All right, good.
Absolutely should. But so you wake up with an erection and you have to make love. Go ahead.
That's right.
Go on.
3.5 hours later, I emerge with no one.
By the way, the kid's starving.
That like out soon. I'm able to bleat.
They want eggs. You don't care.
No, I can't. Yeah, listen, I'm tending to mama's eggs, if you know what I mean.
Oh no!
That doesn't make any sense.
So we wake up in the morning, but do you exercise? I'm leading you is this. Like I get up at like 5 in the morning, which is because I can't sleep. I wish I could sleep later. And I ride my bike.
Really?
About an hour, and it's amazing. No one's around. It's nice and cool.
Oh, outside you ride your bike?
Yeah. I don't have a.
Oh, what a thing! That must be grand to ride the street. You're a little bit like Heston in Omega Man in the opening tracking shot, except you're on 2 wheels, not 4.
I'm on 2 wheels. I don't have a light on my thing, but it's great. I just make my mouth. I can drive down this. I can ride my bike down Melrose Avenue. When will you ever do that again? Will you ride your bike down Melrose Avenue?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of cool in that, but it's just horribly depressing too, right? All the business is shuttered. I wonder what's going to be back. In fact, I was just going to say that's one of the things that the separating the wheat from the chaff, the things that are essential, the things that we require. I worry that WWE is not going to fall on the right side of things. That's one of the myriad industries in jeopardy because of the 19.
This is the second time in 5 minutes you've mentioned WWE. Do you have a deal with them? Are you promoting?
No, I was just reading about it 15 minutes ago. That
I know you're doing
some real jeopardy.
I know you're doing sponsorships on your own. You're getting very fat off it, which is great. But come on, WWE, do they need the help?
No, well, apparently they do. Not as much as the Lakers apparently do. Taking their.
First of all, I'm looking at your beard and it's glorious. You know that I had a beard. I had a full beard until about 2 weeks ago.
Is that true?
I had stopped shaving right when they quarantined. It was a beautiful beard, but it was so itchy. I don't know how you deal with it. How do you deal with it?
I don't know. So why
you groom under the neck though, don't you?
Of course you have to when you're swarthy like me. Yeah, it conceivably might connect down to the top of the chest hairline, and that would be grotesque.
So anyway, so I make my miles on. I go down Mel. I go down Beverly. I go down Sunset, which is wild.
Ooh,
you'll never ride your bike down Sunset again, which is amazing. So what do? You wake up. How are you keeping the weight off? I didn't say before. You look fantastic.
I don't know exactly. No, I think I've basically since last we've seen each other. I think I'm status quo, which is as much as I think I can hope for, given my affection for. I'll tell you, I got a taste. Remember, there's Chex Mix. Before that, when I was a prepubescent guy in Pittsburgh, PA, I created Chex Mix, and this was This was Doritos and
Connect Four
potato
chips.
chips and peanuts and good pretzels, and I'd shake them all up, and it's a glorious treat. And I was off the beer for the last year, but I'm back in on it. And
You're drinking beer now.
I drink a beer a day. Yes.
What do you? That gets to my next question. Is what are you? Are you getting drunk every night? What's happening?
No, I'm not throwing it on real good. How about you? Are you hitting the bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Since it started, I was getting good and twisted. Every night. Then for about a month.
Yeah.
I had a good bind on every night, and then I had to stop for about 2 weeks, about a week and a half, and then I'm back on it. I'm doing better now. But I would say the first month, it was. I got nice and tight. It was again marvelous.
Yeah, you just started berating Jennifer for her shortcomings.
No, never.
No.
I can't name one.
Oh no, I didn't know. I don't know.
Name one.
Angry drunk Feeney after the sun goes down.
That's with wine. That's with wine, and that's different. I'm not touching the wine. It's just the spirits. But I am mad at you, obviously, and I want to berate you because you forgot an important day last week.
Which is what?
My 8th anniversary.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We
got married April 21st in Maui 8 years ago. I remember the show you put on, and it was great.
We all do.
I'm surprised you don't remember it.
I remember that special weekend. I hold it dear to my heart. Hey, so I apologize for that. Happy belated 8th anniversary.
Thank you. Do you want to relive the event? I'm not making a big deal out of it. Can you give us one of the voices you did at my reception?
Did I do Bane? Now is not the time for fear. Now is the time for. Now is the time for rejoicing. I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body. Hey, Jennifer's father, did you know that your new son-in-law has run through half of show business?
Here's the thing. He's doing it behind the voice, but that's the material, and
that's not me. That's Bane.
Really upset my in-laws. Really
I just went away there for the last 30 seconds. I heard Bane paid you a visit. Hey, you know who else is paying us a visit right now? Our old pals. Let's say hello to them now. First of all, just because his name shows up directly under mine here on our little 4-way box here. If you're just hearing us, and I suppose no one's going to see any of this, but
I hope not.
Feeney's wearing a suit and tie for some reason, drinking a martini like he's Draper circa 64. I've got Lolita hanging over my head here. It's a poster of the Kubrick version, the original version.
What's clear, by the way, is you have not showered in days, right?
Untrue. I
keep myself
clean. I keep myself clean.
Good sir, there's a film on you.
No, listen. What is true is that while I've kept myself, I've maintained a cleanliness pretty well. The children have turned rabid. These are cosmopolitan kids growing up in the world of Hollywood and all that. And now in the last 2 to 4 weeks, this situation has really kicked in where they have to answer to nobody, no teachers or anything. And so they just have become nudists. And I don't know how we're going to undo that.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they've gotten very free with their bodies. They are now partial to lazing about the house.
Like father, like son, right?
Fully nude. Yeah, we periodically will, just for old time's sake, still we'll install for a week or a weekend or whatever the check your clothes at the door policy. It's a big hit with all our guests. But
you still wear the sock though, right, or no?
The kid, yeah, I like that. I think that because I'm classy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kids are running around nude everywhere. And in fact, the 5-year-old boy.
Put some clothes on. I'm so sorry. Put some clothes on him.
Well, when we're outside in the backyard, sometimes he'll disappear around the corner. He's like, I'm going to go do a pee-pee. And so he goes and he does his peeps, which is fine by me. But then a couple days ago, he came back around. He's like, he said, Dad, I got they constantly. The two of them are providing us with good news and bad news. I got the good news and I got the bad news.
Yeah.
I got the bad news. And I said, what? He said, I went to do a pee-pee, but some poops came out.
All right.
So he pooped in the backyard.
Happens to the best of us.
Pooped in the backyard.
Sure.
So, yes, I don't know how we're going to get back. And now they really
But how about
are.
put some clothes? How about this? Put some clothes on them for crying out
They're
loud.
children of nature now, because now they're best friend, and unironic. It's not like they're doing some bit or anything. They love a squirrel that comes around in the backyard. This plus size
Oh
squirrel,
my God.
and they love him, and
Acres of yard.
they legitimately play with this thing, and they have imbued him with powers that I'm not sure he has. One, first of all, they've given him the name. If you had a squirrel, what do you think you might name it?
What would I name a squirrel?
Yeah,
Oh,
bushy, nutsy, something like that. No,
some Tree Rollins. I don't know, something like that.
nice. No, yeah,
By the way, Tree Rollins is pretty good.
that was nice. Well done.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They have named him, and I have no idea where they came up with this name. The squirrel's name is Gale.
Okay.
It's a boy. Gale the squirrel. I love it. They love Gale is there, and they will tell anybody who asks about one. Gale likes to play games, but he doesn't like to play a game that has a ball in it. He likes to play hide and go seek, and he's really good at it. And then also Gale knows magic, and it's not a bit or anything. They think that this squirrel in the backyard has magic powers. So bottom line is, I've enjoyed my time, but I am aware of the long-term damage this has done to my little ones. I don't think we ever get them fully back.
Well, the clothes thing is all on you guys. I think the fact that they have an imagination with the squirrel, I think that's great. They come up with names, outstanding. He's pooping in the yard. He's 5 years old. Who cares? The clothes thing is on you. I'm not sure why. Is this Beth's Kentucky background?
Yeah, Tennessee, but yes, close.
Tennessee. You know what I mean. The thing you were worried about before you got married. That kind of
Yes, yeah, hayseed, all that kind of stuff.
But get to me. Can I ask a couple more questions about you? So your kids are doing fine. The other kids are doing great, which is awesome. You keep in contact with the ex-wife, Cindy. That's all cool.
All great. All just marvelous.
How about your folks, though? 'Cause I know your folks are upset with me.
Oh, those poor people on the banks of the Three Rivers, shuttered in.
Honestly, I thought they were in Arizona right now.
No, they don't go out there they haven't gone out there for some time now. But yes, they're sheltering in place, and it's vexing because for most of us in the 21st century, as I've mused about, forget about I watched, it's funny, there are several movies that I've seen on repeat. I guess it's the same dynamic as when we were growing up in 1982. You had HBO, and they would show the same 11 movies for 2 months in a row. And so I
wasn't born then, but yeah, go ahead.
That's right. Yeah, you better see if you can take this trip down memory lane with old man Damashek.
I'm listening.
I saw Flash Gordon with what's his name, Sam. I can't think of his name. I saw that movie 298 times, somewhere about that, to the point that Debbie and I, my younger sister, we could literally, and did do for the grandparents, we did an entire line for line recreation of Flash Gordon. we knew the entire picture so well. But I've been watching the movies that's been on is this assassination to Jesse James. Have you watched this picture?
By the way, I've never seen the movie, and I'm cleaning my office out now, and I have the screenplay, and I started reading it, but I have not watched the movie yet.
Oh, I don't know if you'll like it. I mean, the language.
Why wouldn't I like it? Apparently, it's phenomenal.
I don't know what you like, but
when do you watch movies? I want to get to this, but when do you watch movies? When do you have time to watch movies? Do you watch them during the day?
After hours. Yeah, after hours, but they're on endlessly. It's the same, 17 movies now on the movie channels. But watching this assassination picture, it's 19th century in the Old West, and it's striking. It's kind of like the picture we've talked about too, Brokeback Mountain. When Ennis goes to Jake's house when he goes to Jake's house after Jake has gotten killed, and I'm so bothered by how Jake grew up. There's nothing on the walls. It's just nothing, and then the 19th century, obviously, even worse. What did you do? Were you a book learning type? Because if you weren't, I don't know what you did to fill the hours in the 19th century. But forget about that. That's intangible for us. what is striking to me is, what if this had happened in 1978 when we had 4 channels? What would we, even then, what would we be doing? All these people belly aching
Reading.
about.
You'd be reading or something. You'd be reading to do.
Maybe. Would that
You'd be talking to your kids. You'd be telling them you'd be telling them to wear clothes in the backyard.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
You're watching TV constantly, right? I'm not saying this is a bad thing because I think television is outstanding, but are you watching TV all the time?
No, I'm playing with the kids more than I ever have in my life. It's the greatest.
You wake, like I said, you wake up and you make whatever exercise you do.
We paint. We do the little girl and I.
But is it all about the kids? It's all about the kids?
Mostly, sure, yeah. Beth is still working away, and so
I'm
at her.
Is she really?
I'm at her makeshift shift desk as we speak right now. She rolls calls all day. She has our Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting, making things happen. Shaking the trees, all that kind of stuff.
That's amazing. Good for her. That's great. I don't know how people do it. My neighbor is a movie exec and she's taking pictures. I don't know how they do it.
What are you doing all day? I assumed you'd be making pages all day.
Pages. No? Pages. I'm doing my best to make pages. Waiting for the show to get picked up. If it does, knock on wood, trying to make pages.
All right.
It's pitching these ridiculous movies. Trying my best. It's tough, and then squeezing in as much time as I can with Mrs. Feedy and with our daughter, which is awesome.
Are you having feasts every night? I think that's what everybody has returned to is to creating grand feasts.
Well, the drag of it is that I usually, other than tonight, because I needed to make time with Your Highness. I'm usually cooking around 4:00, and so then the happy hour starts out around 6:00, 5:30 outside, which is amazing. Again, you should drive by one night and see this show that's put on. It's wild.
Well,
there must be 15 people. Anyway, I'm usually cooking. We usually eat around 7:00. We're done around 8:00. It's a hell of a thing. You're thinking about dinner the entire day.
I think everybody is super.
Are you cooking at all?
No. I mean, I've whipped up my eggs and the aforementioned Chex Mix late night to partner up with my beer.
Who called it Chex Mix? Did you call it Chex Mix or did somebody else call it Chex Mix?
I called
Tell me it's somebody else.
No, I called it Chex.
That's the same person that I met when he was cutting on the noise in '99, coming out saying, "Call me Blackjack."
I'm ahead of my time in so many ways. Everybody now swooning over these old ball games. When I created ESPN Classic when I was about 12 years old, everybody laughed. I said, we need a network that shows all the old games. Everybody said, quiet down, boy. Who would care about the old games? Now everybody's hanging on the edge of their seat, watching Michael Jordan do what he did 25, 30 years ago.
Hey, speaking of Michael Jordan, that Last Dance documentary is phenomenal.
You enjoy it, huh?
I'm sure people are talking about it, right? You like it?
I was in Chicago for all those titles. And then I moved out to Los Angeles, and coincidentally or not, all of a sudden Shaq Fu and Kobe started winning titles. So really, there was a stretch there for about a dozen years where Damashek went, so too followed the Larry O'Brien trophy.
I tell you, what's great is that, so Jennifer, who has no interest in NBA basketball at all, is watching these documentaries, watching these hour-longs with me, and she's like, he was really good. Yeah. And he was a good player. That team, they were really good. Dennis Rodman was a really good. Yeah, they were really. But like the fact that she has no idea who these guys are, the teams and everything, it's just outstanding to watch it with her.
It is funny, yeah. So many people, 2 of whom are still sitting on the line here waiting to chime in. I assume they have no actual memory of seeing the guy play here.
Before we go to them, can I ask you a real question? Because I'll finish the talk about Mo and Lee. They're doing fine. They're in Pittsburgh. They're doing fine.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if it were 1978 and we only had 4 channels, I can't imagine the experience. And then every time I speak with them, which is basically every day. By the way, I think it's called Together is the app that you get that Momo found so that she could play games with all of her grandkids, and you can sit there and play. You should get that for your parents, so that they can sit and play with your little girl, all little games, Chutes and Ladders, tic-tac-toe, memory, flip the cards, mix and match, whatever that game's called.
No, whenever they FaceTime and everything, they just talk to each other, but maybe you guys need stuff to fill this out.
Well, we started out in a more rudimentary way. We were breaking out the Candyland board, and we would sit there and play with Momo and Pop-Pop over the laptop. But then Momo found this 21st century technology, which undercuts what I was just about to say, which is I can't imagine watching only 4 channels, which include no actual live sporting events, of course, what that experience be like. It would be so much worse than what it is now. We get to dig into HBO on demand and watch the old Successions, and we watch all the episodes of Schitt's Creek at our discretion, and so on and so forth. But the retro experience that I describe is the one that my parents are living right now. I'm like, why don't you?
Why?
I said to my father, "Are you watching the Michael Jordan documentary?" Like, no. How do I watch it? How do I watch it? I'm like, just set the.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Set the DVR for it. Like, oh well, I don't know how to find that. Like, you don't know how to find. You don't know how to. What are you talking about? I said, they're showing on the NHL network. They just keep showing all the greatest games of '66. The height of his powers, winning Stanley Cups. Like, I'd like to see that. Well, yeah, you have it. You have that at your disposal.
He would go wild for that. I can't believe if there was a Ted Williams channel or Major League Baseball had a Ted Williams day, your father would be tumescent. You'd have maybe a brother or a new sister or something like that. But I want just one last question about them before I get interrupted. They're mad at me. I found out through you this week.
Who?
They're not happy.
My parents?
They're not happy with me.
They're not mad at you. They don't want to come on the show.
But I've asked them to come on the show, and they said no. I had a couple bits prepared for them. I wanted to read some Bukowski, and they've said no because they're sore at me.
Right. Not sore at you. No.
What are they? What's their attitude toward me then?
Well, you put them into sharp relief with your parents, who said, well, they won't be caught telling nice stories about their son. Surreptitious recording.
My parents were duped. That's why. That's all it was.
I don't want to talk about it. Thanksgiving was so long ago. The last Thanksgiving.
What a bird I made, though, right?
It was divine. It was a wonderful.
I made a hell of a gravy. I just hate the fact that they're upset. The fact that they're upset at me, I hate. And one last thing. Do you see my backdrop?
It is. It's a very nice. It's a very nice Feenstra Union logo.
I realized
representing the working man.
It looks nice. I realized that you can do several of these things, and I had no idea. You just download pictures. I have this one ready.
Mm-hmm. Mickey Cohen. He had existential fear for his for the money train named Balboa as he went out and scouted Clubber Lang, but he brought a date. He brought a date.
I just love the fact he doesn't take his hat or coat off, right? He goes to see the number one contender fight, and he saw Creed fight. He saw his boy fight Creed, and yet he wasn't as scared as watching Clubber Lang say, "Oh man, I want Balboa."
Yeah,
he just that long single of him with his date, and he's terrified. It's one of my favorite shots ever.
Death incarnate, yes. And he's seen Clubber Lang, the rise of Clubber Lang. Balboa has taken his eyes off the prize. He's lost his hunger to be a champion warrior. And Cohen knows the truth. And so he goes to scout him, but he's still a man. And so he finds himself a young lady, probably 30 years his junior.
Was that his last name, Cohen? Mickey Cohen? That doesn't sound right.
No, Goldmill. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got it.
Mickey Cohen was the old L.A. gangster, the head of the L.A. mob.
Mickey Goldmill, I think, right.
But
he brings a young lady with him, and but also, once he gets to the fight to see Lang, what Lang can do with his fists, he becomes so terrified, he completely forgets that he's squiring a young lady at the prize fight that night. He doesn't say word one to her.
And pretty good, also pretty good seats. So even though Goldmill grew up, he was in Philadelphia and everything. He got himself some good seats. It was great, but doesn't take off the hat or the duster is insane. I found another good picture to do. Hold on, where's another one? This one's
I like that one. Just replacing yourself with.
This one's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's dynamite. Dynamite from The Sopranos. You're rewatching that one?
I'm rewatching Breaking Bad is what I'm rewatching now, and I'm rewatching some old West Wings, which are really, really great. But one of my favorite moments of Sopranos, I doubt a scripted moment, is in Bobby Bacala's funeral. Not in the episode. I think it was after Blue Comet. It could be members only. I mean, it could be the last episode. At his funeral, somebody, AJ, Tony Soprano Jr. is very upset at the Iraq War and at our president, George W. Bush. That's what Bush is doing in Iraq, and Dick Cheney and then they just cut to Bacala's son who points to AJ and does this point, and it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing in the series. It's my favorite thing in the series.
Best episode ever of The Sopranos. Go.
College.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
College from season 1, long-term parking from season 5.
Ooh.
And that's the one when Adriana,
Yep.
again, the spoiler, that's one when Adriana takes one in the bucket.
That's right.
It's really, it's just great.
And the title of the episode comes from him leaving the car in the airport long-term parking lot. I always like the Richie Aprile episode. So much happens in that.
Which one? Which one was Richie Aprile? The whole season.
That way, his kill scene, because you think Richie Aprile's going to get him. You think Aprile might get him, which makes no sense, of course, in hindsight. But that Tony's sister shoots him dead is great. But before all that, it's when Uncle Jew, your favorite, the scene that you do all the time, when Uncle Jew is ready to back Aprile, but when it comes to a head, he says to Bobby Bacala, he couldn't sell it. He's not respected. He's not respected. It's dynamite.
He couldn't sell it. Pay attention. I'm gonna learn something. He couldn't sell it. That's one of my favorite scenes, and also one of my old friend Tim.
Oh, I remember Tim.
Tim, who I still have not talked to.
Sounds like 5 years. It seems like 5 years ago since we had Tim on the show. In fact, it was probably more like 4 or 5 months ago. But you reconciled apparently, and he went the extra mile. He shipped you out a sweatshirt.
He did, and then
you can't step up to the plate and meet him halfway.
No. I called him. He didn't call me back, and then he did call me back, and then I was busy again, and then 19 happened, and that's kind of been it.
Is he alone? Is he all alone?
Yeah, he's alone. The poor guy.
So he has not seen a soul?
No, his brother lives in Connecticut, and his poor mother lives in North Kingstown, so I don't think he's seen her either, which is really a drag.
Oh, my God.
He texts me once in a while and says things like, I'll never get over the girl from 8th grade. Like, he gets into that kind of mood, and it's marvelous, but he may take the train soon. So, if there's any reason for me to drive back out to Rhode Island to see if anybody's okay, it may be for him.
He's like Redford in Indecent Proposal when he lays it out for Demi Moore why they should be together because he saw that girl on the train and he thinks about her every day. Which is a ripoff from Citizen Kane. But also, that movie's been on a lot also. And I think that movie did not get it's a hell of a hook, right? That movie, a hell of a hook. It's fine. It's something that people talked about on double dates, I'm sure, on Saturday nights 20 years ago. But the striking thing to me is about that, because that was on a week or two ago, and Beth and I watched probably close to the entire third act of it. And I said, what kind of picture is this? It is so outrageous that's where it comes off the rails. It's an interesting thought, but like I've said about many movies, like Being John Malkovich would have been a better picture if it ended at the 55-minute mark, but because the standard is to have a runtime of at least 90 minutes, you have to extend it unnaturally. And okay, it's an interesting thought. But then she dumps Woody Harrelson, and then beds down with Redford. Yeah, that to me is the great hook of that movie. She's a high class hooer. She's a high class hooer, and why would he take her back after that? First of all, he loves her, and for him, marriage is forever. Not for everybody. Sorry, buddy. But what was great about that, I thought that was a great hook in that movie, was not just the beginning of it, which was, I'll give you $1 million if you can let me lay down with your wife, is that she liked it. That's the great hook, is that he's so worried about, Oliver Platt's really good at that movie. He's afraid that he's jealous. Then she comes back. His jealousy, of course, is a thing that I think you probably expect, but the fact that she thought it was good. That to me is an amazing. Why he takes her back, I don't know why he takes her. Yeah, he loves her. I'm probably not that secure. I know you're not that secure. I don't know. These, by the way, are questions we should. Go ahead, please. So I asked Beth. So I said, "This is what kind of picture is this? This is implausible, right?" And she said, "What? That he would go back to Woody Harrelson after all this?" And I said, "Yeah, that he would take her back, yeah." And she said, "Well, Robert Redford, obviously you go with Robert Redford, given what we know about these two guys. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, Robert Redford's everything. Look at him. He's great. He's classy. And don't forget, remember this, kids out there, fellas. I don't want Donovan and Birdbath Gary to get this thing sideways as Donovan gets ready to put a ring on it, and Gary obviously pretty deep in with his little one and his lady at home. Don't ever
pretty deep in. He's got a wife and child.
Right. Don't ever
pretty deep in. Don't listen to him, Gary.
If a millionaire charmer comes along and offers, it doesn't make a difference what the dollar figure is, no matter how much it's going to set up your life. If you let your wife bed down, they resent you for it. This is what Beth made clear to me. She said he let her go to bed down with Redford. She should have left him there. He should have. He let her go.
He let her go with his best view of men and women. He let her go. She decided to go. They didn't care.
Beth said, "Oh no. That's something you don't come back from. How dare he let her? He should have forbade it. He should have said, no way. I don't care what dollar. I don't care how much money we get out of this. It's not worth it for you to lay in a bed with another.
$1 million? Oh, please, come on. Hey, I'm gonna show you one more background. Then we'll kick it to the kinder. Okay, hold on.
Ah, the old Shamrocks. I wonder the Shamrocks from Tom Bergen's. Is that opened right before 19 struck, right?
Yeah, we were about to spin there. Remember, we were about to spin there,
right,
and then now 19 happened, and that was it. I mean, I think it's a real drag. I think that if we can call them up and say, hey, can you open your door? No one's going to be around, and can we spin there? That'd be a pretty good thing.
Yeah, we could dress up like do like, hazmat suits and, false pretenses and go.
What I would really like, by the way, if people want to email or tweet out, I kind of don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
What I should have is my background. Please send me some stuff. Send me some ideas.
Well, you understand this is just an audio podcast, so I don't know that anybody has any reason to weigh in.
I thought people were taking pictures of this. No? Gary,
I don't know. Let's say hello to them. First of all, as I started to say hello to him 15 minutes ago, all the way from Long Beach, California. And by the way, sincere kudos to him, using this to try and bring a little bit of peace and tranquility to the populace out there. I hope you're following him on the social media, because he pretty regularly is going on there with his acoustic acts and making nice music for everybody. It's Donovan. What's happening, Donovan?
Hey guys, good to see you. I missed you.
Look at this piece of garbage. Wow. The Dodger had Donovan Damashek. Donovan. Oh, by the way, I think you're fantastic. I think you're always handsome. You've gained 15 to 20 pounds.
It's the quarantine.
He's got a professional microphone in his face.
Yeah.
That's like a Howard Stern kind of microphone. That's amazing microphone, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty good
set. And I see, no joke, 9 guitars behind.
Yeah, I got a lot of guitars in here.
Where are you, in the studio?
Yeah, I'm in my studio.
You have a studio?
I have a studio, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Donovan, how much, be honest, no jive, how much has 19 and sequestration tested the this essential period for your upcoming marriage? You're shut in. Are any second thoughts now exposed by 19?
Yeah, well, Jen and I have been doing really well with the quarantine. Huh?
Who's Jen?
My fiance.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't forget too, Feeney, that Donovan, who is not only the same size as my 5-year-old, he also has a check your clothes at the door policy in his home. He and Jennifer like to hang about nude.
You're not pooping in the yard, are you?
No, we're not.
How much tail have you gotten on that couch behind you? Donovan has 8 guitars and he has a beautiful black leather couch. He must be making love on that couch all the time.
Right? It's happened at least once.
He's plucking away at the guitar, right?
Yeah.
Women are swooning.
It's happened, sure.
All right, good for you.
Yeah.
Where is Jen?
You bring him in after hours. You bring the ladies over there, and Go ahead.
Where's your fiance now? I'm curious. I'm sorry, Dave. Where's your fiance?
She's in the living room watching TV, but I want her to come on, but she said she's a little too messy. She just got off of work. She still works at the hospital, so she's going to work every day.
So she told you no, and you're fine with that.
She told me next time.
Okay, great. And since when are you a Dodger fan? He's got a Dodger cap on. Brand new, by the way, Danny.
I love it, though.
My hair's getting too long. If you want to borrow it to match your shirt, I can lend it to you.
I look good. Don't tell me I don't look good, because I know I look good. Why doesn't she cut your hair?
I want her to, but she's curious to see what happens to it. So she wants it to get long.
How are you killing time, Donovan? How are you killing the day? Damashek admitted that he gets up and doesn't exercise at all, which is shocking to me because he looks so good. He looks so good. Damashek, by the way, big fan.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Big fan of your work.
So much. Thank you so much.
Fan of your face. But Donovan, you get up at what time, buddy?
I get up at 7. I'll make the bed, wash some dishes.
You make the bed. Where is she?
She's off to work. She's up earlier than I am.
Okay, and then you get up, you make the bed. Then what do?
Wash the dishes, send out some emails, and then I get to work.
Imagine that, Feeney. Imagine this reality. Listen, Jen, who we know, who walked on your back at one point to fix you up.
That's right.
Lovely woman.
Very dainty, very big feet.
That's right too.
And nails. And by the way, I didn't mind this. Nails that had not been trimmed since the fall of the Republic.
Jen is Donovan's Jen is taking herself into the war zone every day. She's going into the hospital to deal with 19. How about that? But does she have any harrowing tales? I imagine she does.
Not really. I mean, she doesn't work directly with COVID patients. She does the CT scan. So I mean, she does work directly with them, but not a ton, and they're being very careful with everything. So she's okay.
Can't you make her up with an exciting story?
I know. I wish I could.
Maybe she comes home. Does she shower before it? Like she comes home, she showers immediately. What happens? You wipe her down.
She comes home, just jumps right into the shower.
Okay.
And and then we.
Why don't you make like Hoffman and steal the heart of Rene Russo in what was that picture called, Feeney?
Say it again.
Monkey. Patrick Dempsey. He has a pet
Outbreak?
monkey. Outbreak. I couldn't think of the name of it. Cuba Gooding Jr. What a cast that is. What kind of casting was that?
I'm going to say, can I ask you one thing? You brought up movies, and thank God, because Donovan's kind of been a bore. My question is, like, Damage, are you seeing movies now? Donovan, that was your 5 minutes, so you can sign off. Damage, what are you watching anything now that you like, oh, I've been holding it up, I've been waiting for this movie to come out? Like, there's a movie called, you brought up Dustin Hoffman, there's a movie called Lenny that Dustin Hoffman made in '74 that Bob Fosse directed, that I never saw. For some reason, I never saw it, and I watched it the other night. It's marvelous.
Yeah, I saw that
marvelous.
Many moons ago. I haven't seen it in some time, but yeah, it is a a great picture.
Is there anything like that you've been watching that you've been like, oh my God, I got to see it?
Well, I revisited it, as you know, because I was texting with you about it. I watched a movie I've seen at least, probably 25, 30 times, Castaway.
Hot Pursuit?
Well, that one, that just runs in the background almost on a loop here. But watching Castaway, though, I suddenly found myself. What's that?
Oh God, go ahead.
Oh God, what?
Castaway. I want to hear this because that Castaway is why you and I are not getting along. But go ahead.
I think. Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again to you now. That this guy, that fat Tom Hanks, he goes off. It's the holidays. He flies off. His plane crashes into the sea. He's the only survivor. Somehow, against all odds, he finds himself into an inflatable raft. He lands on this deserted island. Right. Somehow, through cunning and can-do, he keeps himself alive for 4 years out there.
He lives off his weight, by the way. The fact that he's overweight helps him. He lives off his weight. He lives off his blubber.
A better picture, too, by the way, if it had been somebody like me, than somebody who knew basic kind of like survival things like Hanks' character did.
Why?
Because that gets him through it. If it were Damashek, I guess the movie would be much shorter. I would just die after about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, and I would probably have been bored after 2 minutes. And
probably
no way does Helen Hunt go for him.
Big time saver. But then, so he gets through all this, and then he decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna risk it. I can stay alive, but you know what? My heart belongs to Helen Hunt, and I have to get back to the real world, and I'm gonna risk my life to get back to her and to the world that I knew 4 years ago. So he crafts this ship and somehow gets found out in the middle of the sea. And after all this, he comes back and she's married, has a kid.
Yeah.
And the timeline is a little sketchy for Helen Hunt, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think she's
It's
making time.
not pretty sketchy. It's very sketchy. You and I went back. Well, one thing to bring up before we go into that thing is that at the beginning of the movie, they show Tom Hanks' house that he's sharing with Helen Hunt. And they show a couple of sailing awards that he's won. So that sets up how he knows how to fashion a sail out of a piece of do, and he can go into the ocean. You and I did the math maybe 2.5 weeks ago when we were speaking, when you were being nice, and we decided that she had like 2 years. 2 years, of the 4 years that she was. I'm sorry, not 2 years. Of the 4 years that Tom Hanks was on the island, it looked like maybe 11 months she mourned him.
Do the math. The plane crashes because it's Christmas. They're having dinner
New Year
before they go.
Yeah.
Before he goes off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he's back, and the Super Bowl has just happened with the Tennessee Titans once he's back. And Helen Hunt regales him like, just one lousy yard. We almost won the big game. It's remarkable how people who don't watch sports are so exposed by, I'm not even sure what article in that sentence reveals no idea what they're talking about. But there's something it's clear, like she doesn't know, that Helen Hunt, the human being, doesn't watch football. Just one lousy yard. We almost beat them in football or something like that. But anyway.
Also, what does she care about? What does she care about the Titans? They were just the Oilers, and now they played the Rams and they almost won. What does she care about it? And that's what she wants to talk about when he comes to Caesar after 4 years.
That's the point.
What I hate is that the first time they have anything to say, what does he goes, hey, nice house. And she says, yeah, it's got a nice mortgage too. Oh, shut up. What do I care about your mortgage? I survived 4 years. I buried a buddy of mine in the sand.
You know what didn't have a mortgage? The cave I've been living in for the last 4 years.
I've been wiping myself with coconut. And you can believe it? And yet for some reason, it's got a nice mortgage too. Who cares?
That's exactly right.
But she
after all this,
she mourned 11 months. She mourned 11 months. You can imagine. You imagine right now, the love of your life, Beth, you perish in a plane crash tomorrow, knock on wood. 11 months later, she starts dating. That's the only way that the timeline works out.
Well, then also he has the conversation Hanks does on the plane from from Asia back to the U.S. and he has the conversation with his colleague about like, yeah, we had a funeral, we buried you. What'd you put in there? Which begs the question, what were you talking about for the last month with this guy that this is just now coming up?
It was 2 weeks, and it was 2 weeks, and that was the one thing I'm sorry to interrupt. That's one thing they got. I would think exactly. Yes, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. Where's Mom? Okay, you want to come in and say hello? Damn, this is going to be a first. You're gonna meet my daughter.
Oh, and look, I've heard good things.
You say, hey, Shaq. Say, hey, Shaq. You know who he is.
Where is she? I cannot see her.
I know he looks like Grampy because he looks that old. He's not. Say, hey, Shaq.
Hey, girlie, what are you doing? How are you?
Say hello.
What have you been doing?
I've been outside with my friend.
Oh yeah? What have you been playing?
I don't know where we're gonna play yet.
Have you been watching shows or anything? Have you been painting?
What's your favorite show on TV?
Mira.
She likes Mira the Royal Detective. That's her favorite show.
I don't know that girl. Huh.
All right,
I gotta check it out.
Do me a favor. Scram.
Well, you know what? Here's my 3-year-old girl. They saw Gail. We have at our house, we have a pet squirrel who lives in the backyard, and his name is Gail. and he does magic tricks, and he likes to play hide and go seek. If you ever want to come over, you're more than welcome to join us for that.
We'd have to get through. We get through security, but that would be great, right? Don't you think?
Daddy, I can't read my book.
You can't what?
I can't read my book.
She can't. Mommy's downstairs. All right.
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah, what did you go?
Well, she looked like she was wearing clothes, so you win this round.
Absolutely. But to finish your thoughts about Castaway, she's the most contemptible character in movie history.
Well, I mean, as I was saying, so she cut right. So it's got a big mortgage too, got a nice mortgage too. All that stuff. Yeah, well, I don't need to hear about your new life that you have put together in 4 short years. They're together for 20 minutes, and she doesn't. I mean, or she's the least inquisitive person, at least in movie history. After all this, she doesn't have any questions like, what the hell happened? How did you keep yourself alive? What does somebody eat like that? Do you put pants on? I mean, like, what do you wear? Is there, or do you just nude all the time?
Yeah, well, it was tough because I couldn't get a fire going. I was eating coconut for a month, and I buried my best friend in the sand. That was tough.
Oh, wait, let me interrupt you to tell you about the Tennessee Titans near Super Bowl victory. What
So
kind of way?
The Oilers are the Titans. What do I care about that? Could I possibly care about that?
You understand what I've been through? Now you want to answer some questions for me, dear?
What happened? I had sex in sand for 4 years. I dug a hole in the beach and put my wang in there. But all right, now let's hear about Eddie George. By all means. Kurt Warner, who? What? What do I care about that? Why would I possibly care about that? I banged the beach.
Just nothing. Not a question about it. Where does one poop if you live alone on an island? Like nothing like that.
How did you eat? Did you fantasize about other women?
Right.
By the way, Hanks must have been that movie, right?
Out on the island?
In 4 years, wasn't he probably making love to Wilson?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
By the way, here's one thing I'm going to ask.
For sure they were lovers.
Do you think that was a Spalding ball, and then Hanks says, I will sign on to this movie, but my wife's name is Rita Wilson. Name the ball Wilson, and then I'll do this movie.
I mean, I'd like to think that's true. I'm gonna assume it is. I'm gonna start spreading it around when cocktail parties around show business resume. I'm gonna tease a couple things. One, I want more people to suggest more backdrops for me to antagonize Damashek. And two, we'll talk about the movie that I've been obsessed with the last month, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, this picture, I love it. Okay, let's not dig in on that.
Maybe 10 times I've watched it. But first, can I say hi to Gary, please?
Yes, let's say hello to him.
I love my lady.
I mean, what a long wait it's been for him. He's been.
Look at him! Oh my God, he's handsome too. What gives?
And he's got the Jacuzzi Pete T-shirt on, which
may he rest in peace. I can't stand it. Here's what I don't like about Gary's screen here. It's carefully choreographed. You can see him in the mirror in the background, right? Which is not good. He's well lit, which is weird. He's got a gigantic microphone. And Gary, I'm so sorry, eyeliner. Why eyeliner? Of all things to put on, eyeliner?
Like Chris Angel or something. Yeah, that is weird. Or Johnny Depp.
Dark eyes. I'm sure next time we spin, he'll have cat eyes. Which
heard about Gary. Have you lost weight?
Oh, no. Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I would think so. This is definitely going to be our fattest crisis in American history, right?
Speak for yourself. I look fantastic. I don't think I've gained any weight, as a matter of fact. So how are you, Gary?
I'm well, guys. I'm better now. Good to see both of your faces.
Still married, right? Still with Gary Jr.
Yeah, still with Gary Jr. He's almost.
Where are you show casting right now? Do I see an Anaheim Ducks sweatshirt in the background?
Wow, that's on the back of this chair.
What are you doing?
Big pull. Wow.
What?
What is that about? Look at him. Damashek's got to put on the glass. He got to put on the Ebenezer Scrooge glasses.
This is back from the original logo of the Anaheim Ducks back when I was just a young boy.
I knew you were an Estevez fan, but also Damashek, with all due respect, again in his studio, also a leather couch. How much love is being made in these studios?
Well, this isn't a studio so much. This is my office, and that might appear to be leather, but it's more of a cloth. But yeah, this is the couch. This is the one
where the magic happens. That's where your child was conceived.
Why don't you just broadcast? Why don't you just record in the sunroom like I'm doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to sequester a little bit so that the kinder can have some space in the house. But
Okay.
I
Because
did.
Damashek also was doing it from is that the solarium, Damashek, or is that your office? Or the office?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how you want to call it. Yeah, the parlor. Yeah, it's funny because Feeney, in his Tony Mance that he has. Don't forget,
I do okay.
The situation is different for people. Whether you're my parents who only watch in real time, they can't DVR anything, or they just watch the 4 channels that they have. Even though they have all the movie channels, they don't watch them nearly as often as they should. But Beth's sister is pregnant, and she and her husband, and the baby makes 3 in the womb, are sheltering in Manhattan in a 500 square foot apartment, and they can't leave. You don't walk out in New York. Like, you can't, there's no backyard that you escape to for a breath of fresh air or anything. So even though everybody's playing ball in broad strokes, it's completely different, the experience. Imagine that would be maddening. For one other person in one room, a 500 square foot crib in Manhattan. Kind of like Gary. You got a little more room. You got a backyard at least, right?
Yeah, I do. And
okay.
Neighborhood we can walk around in. That's how I'm getting my miles in, is walking the baby every morning. So yeah.
How is baby? How is Gary Jr.?
He's great. He's enormous. He's going to be 9 months in about 3 days here. So it's
wow.
Oh my God. 9 months already? He was just.
Are our kids going to be how old's your girlie? She's not in first yet, right?
Who, Daddy?
Yeah.
No, she's 5.5.
I'm legitimately, for Jean-Claude Van Damashek and Oprah, I wonder if they're going to be a little less intelligent because of the lack of.
No.
Basically, are they?
It's all the memory of it. Like, what do you remember from when you were 5? Do you remember JFK getting elected?
No, I'm saying an 11 and 13-year-old.
There's Gary. There's Gary coming through. Finally. Donovan, where are these laughs, buddy? I've been scoring all night.
Hey, speaking of Donovan, I got a text during the show here. I think Donovan might have written a song for this show as the show was going on.
No way.
That's what I heard.
Gary,
no one's that good.
Is that true, Donovan?
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to hear it. Quickly, though, before we get to I don't know if there's a better way for us to go out than with an original by Donovan. Gary, was this an okay show?
This was a great show.
Why do you ask about shows? Stop asking about shows.
I know it's crazy to think what is it for me to worry if it's an entertaining product that we're putting out. I know it's crazy.
Because it's entertaining if we think it's entertaining. How about that for a second?
I'm with Feeney on
this. This is the whole thing. I don't want to put people behind the curtain. We were supposed to spin last week, and Damashek canceled.
I did not, and that's absolutely untrue.
Gary,
Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. Did Damashek cancel a week?
Didn't he cancel last week? Donovan, go.
Damashek canceled. Donovan, you start.
I don't even know what happened. I just wanted to rip my hair out. I wanted to spin. It looked. I'm gonna blame both.
Don't you dare! Don't
say it again. Say it again. Me? I was all set to go. I had everything. I had bits prepared.
Did you?
I did last Monday. I all said Damashek like, oh, just I want to do. Do me a favor. Can we do I like to do a scene-by-scene analysis of Castaway. Well, I'm not sure I have a scene-by-scene analysis. I have a couple of things. Then we should punt then.
I think that
Gary, back me up, sir.
Gary, go ahead.
I blame Donovan.
Donovan, go ahead.
Where are your wieners, fellas?
Who punted last Monday?
At some point.
It was Damashek who punted last Monday. I was all set.
What do you think David Feeney's going to do? Is he going to injure your career and stuff? Do you think his reach is that vast and that?
Or maybe
mighty?
he's telling. How about that? How about maybe he's telling the truth? How about that, asshole?
Because I know that that's not the case. Listen. I'm not interested in.
Look at that! This is what I'm going to do. So if you want to listen to next week, there's a couple of things. One, what's Feeney's backdrop going to be? That's going to sweep the nation. I guarantee. And
That will
also,
be more compelling if we start issuing videos.
we will do. I'm gonna write down our text messages from last week, Damashek. I'm gonna have Gary. I'm gonna have Donovan read them.
You know what? I want to get two of our most faithful BTLs / monkeys out there. I want to get Sly from the Cape and the husband in Wichita who had the chicken salad. I want to get those two to maybe that could be their first line reading. There is that they could do our text messages, but I also think we can delve into some other areas too with those guys. We got to track those guys down. But anyway, all right. What else, Feeney? What else do you need?
No, I think that's it. Apparently, I'm boring everybody. Donovan just sent me a text message saying you're boring people, so I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. What do you want to talk about? Lopes to Garvey? You want to talk about some Dodgers, 78 Dodgers?
He does look like Donovan does appear to be a ne'er-do-well driving around in a van along PCH in a 1980 episode of Chips, doesn't he? This is who Ponch and Baker would wrangle with. Like, what are you doing?
Let me ask.
You local rogue, doesn't he look? That's exactly the kind of guys they would.
That's great. That's really I totally agree. Donovan, who's cooking at the house, Donovan?
We both are. Jen more so than me, but I've definitely.
Jen's going out there on the front line, and she's cooking more than you.
Yeah.
What are you doing all day?
I'm not made. I'm here. Like, I'm doing podcasting, and
we doing podcasting. Are you doing water cooler?
Yeah.
You're doing water cooler?
Twice a week now.
What are you talking about on water cooler?
All kinds of stuff. We're
That's
doing show and tell.
That's a great promo. Hey, what are you cooking for when Jen comes home after a hard day of declaring people dead? You make her what? What do you make?
Oh my God.
What are you making her? What's your go-to meal?
The last thing I made is a Filipino dish called adobo. It's chicken.
All right, that's nice.
It's like a soy sauce vinegar chicken.
That's by the way.
That's your go-to?
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
You guys getting nice and tight every night or no? You got some wine? You got some booze going? What's happening?
We got the booze going for sure.
Okay.
It's nice.
You guys fight?
That martini you have looks really good.
Damashek, I'm so sorry. One last question. Are you guys fighting at all?
No.
You haven't fought it once.
We've been doing really well, yeah.
Damashek, back me up. That's a bad sign.
Oh, no.
David, right?
I don't know. Well, it depends. How are you filling the time? Is the lovemaking on an upswing as a result of all this or no?
Definitely on an upswing.
Wow.
Yeah.
For some
how
reason,
could it
I had
not
a
be?
sense that would be true. I don't know why.
This woman comes home from the hospital stinking of dead bodies, and Donovan greets her with an erection? How does that happen, boy?
I can't explain it, but we
I'm sure you can. Gary, what about you? How's it go? What you're cooking for your wife, I'm sure, right?
I'm trying. Yeah, she's cooking quite a bit as well, but I try to pitch in where I can. And yeah, I mean, we're worried about the kiddo, so we're not really even doing takeout at all. It's all cooking at the house. So.
This is your wife, Penelope? I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry.
It's Joya.
I'm kidding. I know it's Joya. What are you making for her, though?
I'm a little limited, but
mac and cheese.
I can put some hot water in a ramen cup or something like that.
Try that Chex mix. If you want to call it Gary's mix, go ahead. She doesn't know. She won't know.
Oh, how can I be mad at that? How can I be mad at that face? Damashek, as Gary and Donovan just attested, Damashek is thrown one gigantic wrench into this show the last week and a half that we're now trying to get around because he's a prima donna, because everything has to be about him. He's a crybaby. He needs his back scratched. I don't want to scratch it all the time. I don't want to scratch it.
Absolute weirdo. You really are.
That's not true at all. You really did your best, as you do with everything, to implode this thing.
You're Trumpian. You're Trumpian, and like you're just completely untethered from the facts as you.
Gary, Donovan, next time we spin, and this will give a reason for people to listen.
Why don't people compliment me on the ventilators more? We have more. What are you talking about? You just
That's not
talk
true
nonsense.
Gary and Donovan can attest to that. It's not true. And JP, if you were around, may God rest his soul, he would attest to it as well. But I'm Damashek, and I said we should probably spin out.
All right.
Because I got stuff to do.
Yeah, got to get the happy hour.
You look fantastic again, and I love you very much.
As do you. Look great. Best to the ladies under the roof. Gary, best to your little one and the missus. Donovan, are you going to play us off now?
Yeah, I'll play. I wrote a song for you guys.
Hold on, I'm gonna put a picture in the background. One last picture in the background as you play.
Okay.
And we'll throw some of these pictures up on.
What is that?
What even is that? We'll throw some of these pictures up on the at DOT podcast Twitter.
What a handsome man I am.
That's in honor of my 8 years of being married. That was Damashek. At my wedding, the day after, he embarrassed me with his toast and insulted my in-laws and my parents. That's him. That's at like 9 in the morning, getting right on beer with a Tony Soprano open shirt.
I bet Gary's taking screen grabs right now as we speak.
I hope so. Boy, do I look good. I look good.
Did you get those, Gary?
We're recording this, so I'll be getting them later. But yeah.
Okay, good. Yes, because I think the Mickey thing is a good one to show. Yeah, that'll be a fun play at home thing to do for the BTLs and monkeys.
Let me do it one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead, Donovan.
Oh, we can post this on YouTube if you guys want. We can post this episode on YouTube.
Fine with me. I mean,
Let's do it.
Bet 7 to 12 people will get a real kick out of it.
What a thing to say. What a horrible thing to say. What's the matter with you?
All right.
Here we go. All right. So we'll come back, but first Donovan's going to have. And by the way, maybe Donovan will inspire you with his little talent show he's about to put on here. If you want to drop us a line, a song, perhaps a script, I don't know however you spread your creative flag. Go ahead, Gary. Tell us how to do it.
There's 19 rules. These are new 19 rules.
You send it to Dave's of Thunder Podcast at gmail.com. Or if you were so inclined, I suppose we could revive the voicemail line if I can find it here. It is 812 682-0044. Sorry, I'm not wearing my
Should we do something fun, Feeney? Should we task the BTLs and monkeys? Like it's not enough to just leave a voicemail. You have to leave it inspired by the 8-year anniversary, like I did the night when I brought out all of Hollywood. Should people, if they want to leave a message, they have to do it in a character of their choosing?
Or just give me a happy anniversary video. That's great, because 8 years is a pretty big thing. When's your anniversary, by the way, baby?
It's in August when we're gonna, I don't know. Are we gonna be back into this mess again by August? I don't know.
Again, that's whatever hairs up your ass that week, because whether we spin or not is all up to you. But I would think that happy anniversary. I want some voicemail. I mean, I really wish that we could be doing the David Thunder Detective Agency.
Well, can we solve crimes remotely?
That's really, really tough. I mean, how did Whiz Kids do it back in '86? But hey, here's a question: do people want to call in? Do people want to be a part of this Zoom? And hopefully they'll bring more than Gary did this week.
Is that possible, Gary?
Yes.
Gary, can people call in and we just pop them up?
They can go ahead and shoot us an email. We'll have to set it up a little bit in advance and kind of pick some people, give them the time and the phone number. But yeah, we can have people call in, or they can even video chat in and join the visual and see Feeney's backgrounds live.
You know what I would like to do also, Damashek? We never did the Jacuzzi Pete seance.
Ooh. It's a good idea. Yeah,
I think we can do. I think that'd be a nice idea to do that. And also, Donovan, how's the new Double D's coming? Donovan texted me like 3 a.m, maybe a week and a half ago. He goes, "You should see the pages I just made."
Yeah, it's coming along.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in chillax mode right now, so I gotta hit up double.
Chillax mode. That ship has sailed, my friend.
No.
Chillax. You're still on that thing? Really? Gary, how are the Just Gary pages coming?
They're going very well, and I think I'm going to be better off now, actually, that we're in quarantine mode, because a lot of people, have been coming up with excuses for why they couldn't join in the past, but now everyone's kind of locked in at home, so I think I'm going to be able to get.
You got like a whole writing staff now. It's not just you and Yonders anymore. You got like a whole room, huh? A digital room.
Yonders, keep that joker away from my show. I'm saying I'll be able to get some good guests, I think.
Gary, what's that green broomstick in the behind you? Is that a hockey stick? What is that?
That is a hockey stick.
From hockey stick.
Good eye. I played hockey a lot as a youngster, and that's one of my old hockey sticks.
And is that your artwork in the background, or is that Damashek's work?
Neither. Those are Banksy pictures, actually.
No kidding. He's got some original Banksies?
They might be prints.
Oh my God, good for you.
All right,
Donovan,
I'm getting hungry. Make with the music so I can
Come
go
on,
have
man.
my fancy meal.
Just like all the listeners, I really missed you guys, and I couldn't wait to have you back. So I wrote this with that in mind.
Do they blame Damashek like you do?
Hi and hello, BTLs and monkeys. It's been too long. It's time for Gage and Papa Deli. And maybe chillax. We're settling hash today. I'm a big fan of Lee. Right here on my screen during quarantine, oh yeah. Days of Thunder is back so you can scramble to. Damn, I shake a list his favorite fruits forever. And David Feeney makes his pages once again. Set my table on cloud nine. Don't wanna stop once we're spinning. Damn, I shake a list his favorite fruits forever. And David Feeney makes his pages once again. Set my table on cloud nine. Don't wanna stop once we're spinning.
Oh, Donovan, you've outdone yourself. Just lovely. You know what? I don't think anything more needs to be said after that. That was well done, except to say we'll be back sooner rather than later. We apologize for the delay.
Well, that's up to you, really. That's up to
Oh,
you.
whatever
mood you're in, whatever mood you wake up to. That's up to you.
Stop. That's ridiculous. I can't wait. If these text messages ever come out, it will be your undoing.
I'm going to script them tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
You're going to be like Trump. You're going to release a transcript of the call you had with Ukraine that exposes you, but you think it's going to exonerate.
Topical. Go ahead.
No, not really. That was a long time ago now. All right, no.
I agree.
It's a. There you go. There's another nice song to hear. It's the Yub Nub song. It means everything is nice. Even in this horrendous time in the world, it's going to be okay, everybody.
Because we're back. We're back, baby. That's why.
We're all Ewoks. We're
Are
all
you
gonna
flossing?
survive this year.
Are you flossing?
Well, yeah, I floss. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
How about you?
In the shower every morning.
Yeah, I don't know what the connection is, but medical people say you have to do it, or because if you don't floss, it for some reason causes heart problems.
Yeah, because there's a thing that goes from here to here, which is the thing. But also, talking to my dentist, the last people I saw really was my dentist before this 19. Was the flossing more important than brushing?
Is that right? Wow.
Yep.
last thing we did for Jean-Claude Van Dameshek's birthday, we're like, all right, let's go out to Benihana, and then literally by the time we got back from Benihana, it was like, yeah, they're shutting it down. Like, you're not going out tomorrow or anything. And we canceled his birthday party. We were going to see a Lakers game and everything.
Really?
We canceled the whole thing. So yeah, it stinks. But
It's
anyway,
it's Oprah's birthday in like 2 days, right?
that's correct. Her friends are
Oh, what a
doing
memory! What a memory!
in
I
vogue.
remember his daughter's birthday. He can remember my anniversary. We made an ass out of himself.
All right, we're gonna cut it off here. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much, BTLs and monkeys. It's been a thin slice of heaven.